Yeah, this is gonna be another one of those double deck reviews, and we're gonna start with Ancient Warriors, and then we're gonna have Blue Eyes Dragonlink, 60 cards, really spicy. And of course, before you start, we already know it, man, friendly reminder to like, subscribe, check the Discord server so you can actually submit your deck list for me to review. I will actually be following a new kind of pattern from now on, where I only showcase individual, like single deck reviews for people who have one or top event, like topped events, or I will be doing double deck reviews for people who just only show me the deck list. And also, if you could actually send me replays along with it or combos or something, that would be seriously appreciated, because obviously it's always better information for the viewers, and I don't really have the time to test every single deck that people send me because the Discord server is actually getting quite a lot of the deck list. But yeah, let's jump right into it. Alright, so the first card would be Ambitious Sao Day, or whatever the name is supposed to be. Basically the big boy, but he's not as big as Rebellious Lu Feng. Now, this is supposed to be kind of like the best monster that you play, and this, it's kind of a gimmicky now. I know it has, is it the Goyo Guardian-esque effect? It's really good. Yeah, exactly, it's the Goyo Guardian effect, and when your opponent, when a card your opponent controls is destroyed, well, technically if, but you get the point. Well, actually, you can actually send a card from your hand or field to the grave and then special summon this card from the hand. So it's pretty nice, but it's only good going second, obviously. I guess you can special summon it from your hand. You don't have to summon it with like this summoning condition. This 3 visits actually get sent from the field to the grave. You can actually summon the Ambitious Sao Day, but it's not like it matter this much. I feel like this isn't the best anymore. And then obviously to Lu Feng, I think this is a pretty good ratio. 1 Valiant Zhang Day, this is also really good at 1 because it is once per turn, like every effect, so you wouldn't want to max out on that. This, on the other hand, is actually not once per turn. Only the effect to pop your opponent is actually once per turn, but the effect to summon itself, no. So if your opponent has like Appaloosa, he can negate you 75 billion times, and you can just go like activate, 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 activate. So this single-handedly beats Appaloosa, and if your opponent also has like Shuanglong on top, it again does nothing at all because your opponent, it's insane. Your opponent could have Appaloosa for 7 with the freaking, no, not for 7, but for 4 with what's his face, the Ancient Warrior Link monster, so if he's playing Tri Brigade, and then this card single-handedly breaks the board. It's actually insane. Not breaks the board because they can actually just use the bounce on like battle phase, but baits pretty much all the dangerous and like effects, so it's really, really good. And then we have the Fearsome Zhang Yuan, which is the one ratio I'm going to be completely disagreeing with. I don't think you want to play 3 of this like ever. I think 1 is perfect, but not 3, because this only summons itself really easily at the start of the damage step. Naturally, this card again doesn't do much going first, just like the Ambitious Sao Day does. I don't think you want to play. I mean, it does have a pretty respectable effect, especially if there's a way you could actually destroy cards during your opponent's turn. From what I can see in this deck list, there is not much that really does that. I don't think he actually tried to go for a really cohesive strategy, just play like a bunch of cards that shouldn't be there, or ratios that are just incorrect. Like this, honestly, ever since Lu Feng is a thing, I no longer want to play it. And this, I actually also don't want to play it, but a 1-of could also kind of be okay. And then Sun Mu, obviously 3-of is perfect. Okay, Lu Juan, I used to play 3, but now I'm even open to cutting it down to 1. So playing it at 2, I think is definitely fine. It does nothing going first, obviously. Again, that's the theme of the virtual worlds, is that they always require you to either battle or your opponent having more monsters than you do, which is even worse than the Cyber Dragon Claws, because, I mean, it's basically the Cyber Dragon Claws in a way. Well, actually, no, Cyber Dragon, it's like if your opponent controls at least 1 monster and you control 0. This, your opponent could control like, I don't know, like 1 monster and you control 1, it doesn't work. Your opponent would have to have at least 2 monsters and you control less than 2, so it's really strict. Just to summon a monster from the deck, well, actually, just to summon, ooh, that's actually really insane. And this searches. This also has a secondary effect whenever your Ancient Warrior monster's effect is activated, you can bounce back a card, well, a monster your opponent controls, which is really, really nasty, and actually triggers with Shuanglong when you use the bounce effect, so you use double bounce if you have the Shuanglong and the Sun Mu on your opponent's turn. And this is like when an attack is declared involving another Ancient Warrior monster, you draw 1 card, which is really nice, and another monster, so you can't just go attack direct and draw 1 card. If it was like that, it would have said if an Ancient Warrior monster you control battles, but sadly that is not the case. And then to Zuchkong, yeah, of course, even though this card is not great, you have to play 2 because it's the best card to search off of Sun Mu. You can make rank 4s, and I really like the fact that you played Zeus in your deck. Really, it gives you even more options. Gaga Cowboy, how How often are you making this? To me, it doesn't come up super often, but I can definitely understand why you want to play a card for time. Apart from that, the Zodiac package, really nice, but we're gonna review that later on. Anyways, for the spell cards, again, no hand shops. That is not because this guy doesn't want to play hand shops necessarily or that he forgot or something. It's because the Lu Fang actually has a weird effect where if you use the effect of Lu Fang, you cannot use any monster effects except virtual world monster effects the turn you activate this, not like for the remainder of the turn. So you can't just go, I'll use my hand shops first and then use Lu Fang. So it does conflict and clash really hard with the rebellious with the Lu Fang with the hand shops. So that kind of sucks. But anyways, triple extravagance, of course. At this point with extravagance, I feel like instead of playing like super poly targets and like one-ofs, I would just max out everything at like 2 or 3-ofs. But I guess playing more options makes sense since you're not always gonna draw extravagance anyways. And sometimes when you don't want to just banish randomly, what you can do is actually just send it to the graveyard for the cost of like your virtual world monsters. So that also definitely makes sense. Dark Ruler is just a nasty one. I definitely recommend playing that over Forbidden Drop, because Forbidden Drop would be really expensive. You would have to send other cards from your hand or field alongside your other virtual world effects, which also force you to send other cards. Alright, moving on, we have Called by the Grave, triple super poly. Again, another one of those cards that require you to discard a card, so you see how this can be really expensive, man. If you had to play Forbidden Drop instead, it would have been too much, so this is why Pot of Extravagance and making sure you're getting more cards to your hand, 7 cards going second instead of just 6, allows you to use all of those expensive, costly effects, as well as using your other cards that would just use themselves from the hand in order to break your opponent's board. But anyways, 3 visits. Up until now, I don't think I disagree with any of the spells. I like everything that I'm seeing. Triple tanky, beautiful. Okay, east by south winds. What the heck? They completely changed the name in the TCG, but the OCG name is Southeast Wind, so I'm just gonna call it winds or wind, whatever. This card, I know it has a cute effect, but I think as a 1-of is all you need. As a 2-of, I just don't get it, because it's not a card that you're desperate to see. You just want to search it or have access to it when you really need it. It's not like 3 visits, which is broken. This card is insane. You always want to see 3 visits in your opening hand, because if you draw this plus literally any normal summonable monster, or even going second like Loyal Guan Yun, it actually gets your engine going. You search your Sun Mu, and then you send this, you search for anything, you special summon it, and then when you make Shuang Long, you can search Rebellious, pop multiple cards your opponent controls, bounce, everything. So 3 visits is always going to be a 3-of. This, on the other hand, I think you should actually cut it down to 1, and again, on top of these that you're cutting down to 1 as well, so you're gonna have 3 more spots in your main deck. You could play stuff like more back removal, like your Cyclones could actually be in your main deck instead. And then the evenly matched, the only reason why I'm not against the evenly in the main deck is, well, first of all, you're playing a going second deck, so inherently it's gonna be good. It's not like you're playing Altergeist with evenly, which is like more debatable. But in this deck, also the fact that you're not playing banish cards, you're not inherently losing to Artifact Lancia, so people are not siding Lancia against you on game 2 and 3, meaning that evenly is gonna always have full value, and I like it a lot. It's not really like you were playing Tri-Brigade and you're siding into evenly matched. That would kind of make no sense because your deck loses to Lancia really hard. So obviously if you draw evenly and you get Lancia on top of your entire deck doing nothing, your evenly also does nothing, and that's something that you're trying to avoid. But anyways, Red Reboot, absolutely gorgeous. I really like this. I think it makes so much sense to play because it's really easy to OTK your opponent. Anyways, for the extra deck, this is going to be a bunch of super poly targets actually. So Eldritch the Mad Golden Lord, 1 Eldritch monster and a level 5 or higher zombie monster. Basically, it's super poly against Eldritch when they have like Conquistador or Haquero with Eldritch the Golden Lord. But at this point, you could also be playing the other monster, Necro Nether Soul Dragon or something, the one that just requires 2 zombies. You could do that, so if people actually play Zombie World, you could use, I don't know, because the thing is, if they have like Eldritch the Golden Lord with Doom King, super poly is nasty against that. But this also has a pretty respectable effect. It's not really like the other zombie guy that just kind of doesn't do anything. It's just a super poly and that's it, that's all. So I definitely like that. And then we have Starving Venom, Mud Dragon of the Swamp. This is really nasty against Tri-Brigade. Gets rid of the Appaloosa and the Shuang Long, so definitely keep that. And then the Starving Venom is also really good. You could also play Invoked Elysium because it could use Invoked Merkaba and another monster summon from the extra deck, I think. And you could also play some Shuttle monsters if you think that could be logical, but yeah. Winda and a Dark Monster, so you can make another Winda. you can make a wind on your field, basically. Anyways, a Millenniumize Restrict, that is not a super poly target. That is something that you summon with instant fusion. So what I don't really like is that he's playing one card in his extra deck with no way to summon it, only trying to side in the one card in the side deck that is unsearchable anyways, and doesn't have that great of an effect. Like, at this point, don't even play the package. Just ignore it completely, play something else, play another super poly target, like the cards that I just listed, and this could be something else. So yeah, definitely food for thought. Anyways, Zeus, Tornado, Baguska, Cowboy, Chakanine, and Borbo. Now you might be wondering, well, you're not playing any Zodiac monsters, so how you make them? Well, Chakanine is actually just a generic rank 4, so 2+ level 4 monsters, that's it, that's all. And then you make Borbo on top, and then it can attack directly, and then after that you make Zeus with like 4 materials. So that's actually really neat. And yeah, for the Link monsters, I think you should be playing Ominous Omen. I don't know how easy it is to summon it, but I still believe that since you're trying to side in Trabrigade cards, you should do that. If your deck can fit, yeah, no, I don't think it can fit like Fractale and Nerval. That would be way too much with like Ceres in the main deck. That would be way too much. So I definitely get why you're only playing Trabrigade cards. But anyway, Simorg, Baron Blossom, and then triple Shuanglong. This is as good as it gets. I don't think anything here is wrong. But again, I would be playing, not that it matters really, because this is the only Trabrigade that he's playing. Anyways, the side deck or idea section, well, actually that's more of a side deck. Windbearer Statue, of course, not, yeah, way better than Apex Avion, not Elemental Hero, Apex Avion, LMAO. And then triple Keras, triple DD Crow, Instant Fusion, triple Cyclone, triple Decree. I don't think I would be playing Decree like ever. I don't think it makes that much sense. I think it loses to cards that you shouldn't be losing to. I don't know. You're trying to kill your opponent. Red Reboot and cards like that are what you're trying to aim, so Lightning Storm. But if budget is a problem, then maybe I understand, but I don't think you need that many cards for back row, so you should be good. And then Imperial Order. Hey, you know what? Just to make sure that you always have a good going first, since people will be making you go first, you could actually side in Anti-Spell Fragrance. But anyways, that's it for this Ancient Warrior deck list or deck review. Now let's get into the Blue Eyes Dragonlink. Alright, so this is the Blue Eyes Dragonlink, and there's a lot to digest, so this is insane. I wish I had a replay. I don't. Oh my god, this sucks, man. If only. Yo guys, please always submit replays alongside your deck list when you send them to me on the Discord server. That would help me out so much and would make the video more enjoyable for people to watch. But anyways, the first card obviously is Absol Router Dragon at 3. I think that's a bit too much, but at the same time it's a 60 card deck, so never mind. I think that's good. The reason why I said it's a lot is because this is not a typical rocket deck. So yeah, I mean, this is, I don't know, you're rarely gonna special summon this from the hand. Usually it's just gonna be a discard. It's a level 7, so it's not a trade-in target, which I don't really like. If it was a level 8, I would have given it to you. Like, it would have given it to you. But yeah, sadly not. 3 Ash. Okay. Alright, yeah. Not like you were drawing hand traps really often in 60. Black Collapse Serpent with the White Dragon, just there. And then Deep of Blue Eyes, I wouldn't be playing that. This searches for polymerization, but only on end phase. No, actually, only if it's special summon. You can add 1 ritual spell or polymerization from your deck to your hand. Like, it's not that bad. It searches you the Chaos form, so Advanced Ritual Art in Chaos form, so you can make your Chaos Max and Chaos Dragon. Not bad, but also not great. Anyways, now we have 2 Blue Eyes alternative, 2 Lavineer, DMZ Dragon with Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. Ah, this is nice, man. People are playing that package. With Dragunity Phalanx, okay, this is, I feel like we've kind of gone to a point where this deck is trying to do way too much, and you're gonna see why soon enough anyways. Effect Veiler, because it's searchable by Sage. So this is the one time where playing a random one of kind of makes sense to a certain extent. Triple Nocto, well, you can make Striker Dragon, so this card's always live, unlike Absol Router. And then we have Omni Dragon Brotor, of course, Red Rose Dragon. What are you trying to do? No, you're not. Yeah, okay. This, I don't really get how he's consistently triggering this. There has to be a way, but yeah, no, I don't think I get it. Well, yeah, we're gonna wait anyways. Yeah, it's there, White Rose Dragon, but what is he synchro summoning? Black Rose on your own turn? Yeah, obviously you're not gonna use the effect, it's optional, but still. Anyways, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, of course, Rocket Recharger, triple Synchron, but only run Rocket Tracer. This is the insane part. Usually people play like 1 or 2 Synchrons and then triple Tracer, or like 2 or 3, but this is like upside down ratio, so what are you really trying to achieve? If you use this as your normal summon, could be nice, but then This is like the combo-oriented version, so Sage with Eyes of Blue in the deck kind of looks a bit unusual, I want to say. That's probably the best way to put it. I don't think this is something that I would personally do. I'd be playing like 40 at this point if you wanted to play Sage, but if you want to play 60, Sage doesn't have the biggest impact. You kind of want to play some one-card combos, one-card Needle Fibers, one-card Romulus, and stuff like that. Seyfert already should have been a 3 of, which is something that I find is kind of wrong already. And apart from that, the Absol Router also shouldn't be a 3 of. The White Stone of Ancients, White Stone of Legend, and then White Rose Dragon. The White Stone of Legend I would play 3, and then the White Stone of Ancient I would play playing 1, alright? And then this I would just kind of cut it. I would cut every single card around the ritual mechanic. The thing is, if you're trying to make your deck do too much, it ends up doing nothing. It just draws like the combination of 10 billion different engines which don't work with each other. Basically, there's no synergy between like the ritual cards and something like, I don't know, the freaking rocket monsters. It just does nothing. But I do notice that the extra deck can actually do full Guard Dragon combo, which is, you know, it's pretty nice. But actually, he's not playing the Quad Boral Dragon and Delindrous with like Unchained. Well, you don't really need that, to be fair, but still. What else do we have? Okay, yeah, so Triple Blue Eye, of course, the Ritual Package, Boot Sector Launch, only at 1 of. Oh, that's interesting. Triple Chaos Space, Ravine, Dragon's Mirror. Dragon's Mirror, just so you can summon Blue Eye's alternative Ultimate Dragon. Okay, I mean, it's a pretty... Ooh. Dragon's Mirror is not a polymerization card. You cannot send that with Anaconda. I was gonna say play Anaconda, but you can't do that. That's so unfortunate. Therefore, since it's like a random unsearchable 1 of, cut this and cut the alternative ultimate completely, because you're playing 60 and you're having a 1 of that requires you to banish 5 monsters from the grave. Or like how many? 3, okay, but 3 is still quite a lot, especially in 60, so this is just unreliable. And then we have, of course, the Divine Lance, respectable, Monster Reborn, 1 for 1. Terraforming? Why Terraforming? The only field spell you play is a card that's searchable with any dragon monster in your deck, or Ravine, which is searchable by Romulus. No, I would not play Terraforming, like, ever. Like, you can access both of these field spells inherently. Just play more combo starters, instead of playing cards that search cards that your search cards should already be searching without having to play more search cards, if you get what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I keep repeating myself, but basically you're trying to do too much. Anyways, Triple Melody. This searches all your ritual monsters, but also the useless cards like Blue Eyes, but it searches, most importantly, the White Dragon and Chaos Dragon Lavinier. Now, one big tip that I can give you is please play Chaos Emperor Dragon of Armageddon, the card that used to be a price card. That card is fantastic in a deck like this, especially if you start maxing out Seyfert, like a 3. Your deck is going to be so much better, so I can definitely work on this. I think I'm actually going to keep this deck list and make a full deck doctor on it, so I'm not just going to make just this deck review and that's it, that's all. So we're probably going to make maybe a series if you guys are interested, instead of just always me giving out opinions and tips. But yeah, that actually could be really interesting. I just need your guys' approval, because obviously at the end of the day I'm just trying to make videos that you guys would enjoy, and if you guys just don't show interest, well, there's no point in me doing that. But anyways, 3 trade-in, because obviously you're playing so many level 8s, even though it's, like I said, oh, even Nocto is a level 7, never mind. Yeah, never mind. If you're cutting these cards, and you're cutting deep with Eyes of Blue, that's already way less level 8s, so I would actually also cut trade-in in the deck entirely. And then the World Legacy Guard Dragon, I would be maxing out a 3, and I would maybe consider playing Chamber Dragon Maid, sorry, with Dragon Maid Tidying, even though that is absolutely not required. You don't need that whatsoever. Sage with Eyes of Blue, by the way, it doesn't have to just be a normal summon, so I apologize if I actually messed up something. This could actually be your normal summon, and then you can just use the effect from the hand to like special summon Blue Eyes from your deck, which I think is pretty nice. Does this summon only Blue Eyes or Blue Eyes Monster? Blue Eyes Monster, but this is okay, yeah, sure. So Sage with Blue Eyes with like other stuff could allow you to do some nice plays. I definitely dig that. Anyways, the extra deck, the alternative ultimate that I would cut, Azure Eyes with Black Rose, Blue Eye Spirit. Okay, so no Moonlight Dragon. I would think I would be playing a Moonlight Dragon, and then Burlowed Savage, Chaos Ruler, Demonic, Cross Rose. Okay, yeah, this makes sense since you're playing Black Rose. Okay, sure, it's cool. Needle Fiber, Romulus, LPPST, sorry, yeah, this is LPPST. Okay, yeah, sure. Hieratic Seal, Skull Eat, and Double Striker Dragon. If we try to manage some space in the deck, you could actually fit a second Skull Eat, and you should be able to fit a rank 8 monster. Maybe that could make sense. So like a Harbinger or something, maybe consider cutting the Cross Rose and the alternative, and actually the Black Rose as well entirely, and just forget about this package. It's kind of Win Mori. Your deck doesn't need to play these cards. Just try to think of, what's the best example? Like Dragonlink, they don't play either White Red Rose and White Rose, and DMZ would Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. So if you cut these cards, your deck, instead of being like super Win Mori and again trying to do way too much, it actually just does one thing but really consistently and really well. So that is something that I would be working on really soon. Again, like I said, kind of new series, quote unquote. But anyways, the side deck: 3 Jewel and Lock, 3 Cyclone, 3 Forbidden Drop, Duster. Okay, the Return of the Dragon Lord should maybe either be in the main deck or nowhere, and then Ice Dragon's Prison and Red Reboot. So all in all, pretty nice deck list, really interesting. I feel like, yeah, I mean, I learned a lot. Honestly, I didn't even know that Deep of Blue Eyes could actually just search a random ritual spell, so that actually gives me ideas, and this is really nice. Huge shoutouts to everyone who sent me the deck list, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and go on the Discord server to send your deck list, and I will see you next time. Peace.